Hey everybody, so I'm here with Cece because she had technical difficulties last time we did a show, and there were some things that she wanted to address and go over. And since the last show, Robbie also went to court, so I'm sure that she'll talk about that too. But I'm gonna let Cece talk about what she wants to talk about.
Hi, everybody. I don't know who all's watching right now, and I'm sure others will be watching later, but most of you know who I am. I'm an advocate for Amaya Robertson, the 8-month-old baby that went missing on March the 9th of 2019 on the west side of Indianapolis. And that is part of what I want to discuss tonight. But first of all, I want to address this. I was supposed to do a podcast with someone else tonight, and I wasn't exactly aware of who they were affiliated with. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. They are affiliated with Anthony Greeno and someone else that I'm going to have no part of. Anthony, as you all know, is incarcerated. For those of you that know him, he does the true crime channel, and one other Amy knows. But
Well, it's down now, so
oh, that's awesome. That's great news. So I found out from one of my group members today. My group is in memory of Amaya Robertson seeking justice. I found out from one of my members today. I sent a screenshot to Amy. She donated when we did that walk, and Anthony and Amy were present, um, which Amy and Incognito were unaware he was going to do that fundraiser for Chuck. She sent $200 just out of her pocket. And I know she has been very giving to Amaya's case. So now I know that Anthony, because there were a lot of people that donated to that. And as you know, Amaya got her memorial tree and that site over there out of that $200, and then the siblings got a little bit of whatever was left over. But I'm not going to do anything that is going to put money in somebody's pocket to profit them off of any deceased baby that I advocate for, or any other victim out here. I'm not doing that, and I don't want to have anything to do with anyone associated with Anthony Greeno. I'm just not doing it. Everyone was aware of what he was doing. Everyone is aware of what kind of a person he is. He's not in jail for the umpteenth million time because he's a good person. I'm just not going to go there. So that's that. Not going to associate myself with that. But yeah, I did not get to be a part of the podcast last week because I was having serious issues when I was trying to get into StreamYard. I went back out of it and then I could not get back in. So, because of internet connections. But as Amy said, yes, us girls, meaning myself, Holly, Lindsay, Sierra, and some of you know Nikki Ford, she came. And then there was an ex-girlfriend of Amber's half-brother, Donnie, Anna, she showed. And that was it for Robbie's court hearing last week. A lot of people have been asking, like, what happened. He saw us girls. I'm pretty sure he's very aware of who I am because I've been on the news a lot because of Amaya. And we've done a lot of podcasts for Amaya and whatnot, and with the Foreman brothers. So, yeah, I think he also probably knew who Lindsay was as well. But he just kind of looked at us, and They sat him down. He was very cocky and arrogant. He did not shed one tear. Quite opposite of Amber. And it was basically just his initial hearing because he's being charged with the same charges as Amber. And of course, he pled not guilty. That's normally what people do when they go into a hearing. They don't normally right off the bat. I mean, some people have just to get it out the way. They will plead guilty and they will get a plea. And then, it doesn't drag on forever, but that could be the possibility here. He did turn himself in. It did take a little bit longer to get him into court. I don't know why. The important thing is he went to court. But yeah, he was really, really like cocky and arrogant. And he like had a little southern accent. I've only heard his voice in one clip, and that was the messages between Robbie and Amber. Some people are saying those messages are fake. No, people, I want everyone out here to know those Facebook messages are the ones the police got in the very beginning of the case. That was what was on Robbie and Amber's phone. And then Courtney, which is an ex-girlfriend of Logan Hall. Logan Hall is Amber's first child's father. Courtney was with him. And when Sierra and I went to see Logan that day, Courtney was 5 minutes we had been there, she hacked into Amber's Facebook. And I had already heard those messages prior, just like I've told all of you guys. And it wasn't from Amber. I'm not going to go into where I heard them. It doesn't matter. Nobody touched those messages, though. They're not altered. They are legit from Robbie and Amber. But I've only heard that one clip in there, and he was saying he wanted to talk to Amber, and she's like, how do I know it's you? And then he sent a voice clip saying it's really me, Amber.
Yeah.
So those messages are legit. I don't know why anybody would make themselves look foolish and say they're fake, and I know they're fake and blah, blah, and I hacked into them too. And yeah, Courtney gave me and Sierra the password and the login information. Of course, when I leave, I'm going to go back in there and keep looking through everything to see if I can find anything on my own. We did find something. We discovered a thumbs up on the day of the dig from Robbie to Amber. And I'm not even sure the police were like right on top of that one. But
and if
so
here that doesn't RO CC and them's Facebook group, it's the pinned comment at the top. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll make sure she sees them.
I can see there's like, I don't know, it looks like, oh, okay.
So far, it's mostly just been people saying hi.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. It looks like I noticed everyone that was in there. So I also wanted to say it was a mistake on Lindsay's part. I think she misunderstood about video footage from the waterfront, saying that Robbie was not on video at one point. That was an accident. She misunderstood what I said. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yes, he is on video with Amaya. So I just wanted to make sure to clear the air on that. Because like that is a huge deal.
Right.
So that was an accident. She didn't mean to put that out there, like wrong information. She didn't mean to do that. So I just wanted to clear the air on that. And everyone knows, yes, now everybody knows Amber's in jail. Just like a lot of people have said, Amber knows stuff. And there were people supporting Amber, which in a lot of these cases like this, you're going to have some people that believe in a parent that they had nothing to do with it, have no knowledge. You're going to have that.
Right.
But It speaks volumes that Amber is in jail now, and she has the same charges as Robbie. That speaks volumes to everyone that has followed this case, because she's not innocent. Maybe she didn't hurt Amaya. Maybe she had nothing to do with that part of it. I mean, that's still yet to be seen. We still don't know yet. But she's in jail for reasons. She's not in jail because she is innocent.
Right.
And as we've done said, you know, when Amber came in, when she really got upset, she was crying a lot, which, yeah, you're in jail for your child that is dead. Like, you should have been crying a long time ago like that. But when she got the most upset is when they started reading off the witness list for who was going to be witnesses for Amaya's case in the trial. And the minute her mom pops up, Amber just really lost it, because that's her main support system. She doesn't have a lot of support in her family for good reasons. But this is a very serious thing, and I kept telling, you know, some of Robbie's family, this isn't going away. I don't know what you think. This is not going to go away. There is still a baby you did not produce. That baby has never been seen again. And she is dead out here somewhere. And a lot of people still don't. A lot of people keep saying, well, why didn't they put them in jail a long time ago? Why didn't they put them in jail a long time ago? If it were that cut and dry, they would have just already been in jail, which, yeah, they should have been in jail a long time ago, but there's reasons why they didn't go to jail a long time ago. What's important is they're in jail now. They're not still walking free. They're in jail now. And that says a whole hell of a lot. And yes, Robbie ran. Robbie has a history of running when he's in trouble with the law. But you know, he did do the right thing. He did turn himself in. I mean, you can hide, but you know, you can run, but you can't hide forever. So, especially in something like this is very serious. And they did not put murder charges on them. Again, we'll just put that out there because Amaya has not been found. Her body is still out there somewhere. And then if they were to try them for murder now and they were found not guilty on that charge, if Amaya ever is found, then they can't charge him ever again. I mean, so it's been like a long, hard journey. It's been a long 3.5 years for detectives to get to this point, for anybody that's advocated for Amaya or followed the case or put themselves out there in any way, shape, or form. I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for anybody that has been diehard for Amaya. I mean, it's been a long, hard journey.
Yeah.
It's been one real complicated case. It's not just cut and dry simple. If it were, they would have already been in jail a long time ago, and they would have already been found guilty or not guilty. Unfortunately, this has been one of those cases that there's been a lot of people that have been thrown in this that didn't even belong in this. I've heard many different names mentioned, and now I know most of those people. And they didn't even belong in it. And the only people that they really need as witnesses, they're on that list. Some people were asking why Kayla, her correct pronunciation of her last name is Beatty. It's not Beatty. Every time I hear Beatty, I'm like, that is not how you say her name. I don't know what it is. That just irritates me. But her parents lived across the street, or they live across the street from 229 South Holmes, where Jeanette Browning lived. She no longer lives there, hasn't lived there for over a year, which I've put pictures of what that house looks like on the inside and out now, and it's disgusting. But they had the video footage, and then Kayla has said something about Amaya being in Amber's arms outstretched when she's speed walking down the sidewalk. She recanted that story like 3 times and then said she didn't say it at all. So I don't know what she's a witness to, but she's a witness. So whatever it is, she's an important part of this. The only people that are witnesses are anybody that directly surrounded Amaya in some form or fashion when she went missing, or shortly before she went missing. So they have their list. That's what they need. And
to answer Jessica, it does
what
not
is it?
show that his has been paid. Somebody asked if Robbie was getting out and said it looked like his bond had been paid. It hasn't been paid.
No,
So,
neither one of their bonds have been paid. No, because their bond, both of their bond, Amber and Robbie, is 10% of 200,000, which is $20,000. Nobody in their families have $20,000, and I don't know why they would even try to get him out of jail. The only people that I could really see, I don't see anyone trying to get Amber out, because most of the people in her family don't even support her. Amber's made that very hard for her family to support her, because she's just shown that she gives 0 fucks in her own way.
But I did
And
double check and make sure, and no, I said I did double check just to make sure. So
Tammy, even if he gets it paid, says he is going to be held for another county. He did get in trouble for a DUI up north where Michael Kramer lives. That's his stepdad. Michael's been his number 1 supporter from day one. He's always had Robbie's back no matter what. I strongly believe, just from the credentials that I get from Michael, and I've spoken to him personally myself, he's a real asshole. There's a strong possibility that he knows what happened to Amaya, because I strongly believe that Robbie can confide in him no matter what. I may be wrong, but Michael gives off that persona to a lot of us, that I don't care if Robbie did kill a baby or if he did hurt a baby and he hid her body, that Michael would cover for him. And that's the only person I really see that would really try to even bond Robbie out of jail, is Michael, but I don't even know if he has the financial means to do that. That's $20,000. But Amber and Robbie do go for a bond reduction hearing. That's normal in most cases, because a lot of cases like this, or even murder charges, they will have a really high bond. And then in a lot of cases, they will get it reduced. So people have an opportunity to get out of jail. Go ahead, Amy.
I don't remember. I got sidetracked.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one.
About the convicted child predator. I don't know if he's ever been convicted of it, but there is a member in my group that is a local. I know her. We've spoken many times, and we've also spoken in person. She told me about Michael molesting her when she was younger and giving her meth. And his brother is supposed to, I don't know, his brother outed him. So, yeah, and then Justice for Amaya, I know who that is, but his court date for DUI was on the 20th, and they have him as a failure. Okay, I can't look at that, Bree. I can't look at that while I'm on here. It will kick me out of the show.
Yeah, she can't.
So,
She won't be able to on here.
no, I can't look at your comments in Messenger while I'm in the show, or yeah, it'll kick me out.
She kicks herself out every time.
I do. Yeah, I do. So yeah, it's been a long, hard journey to get, to get to this point. But, it's already been said over and over. The people that have fought for Amaya, they never gave up. And this was the result that everybody was going for. Law enforcement never gave up. It wasn't in the cards for, excuse me, for Jeannie, which was the first detective, Jeannie Burkhart, wasn't in the cards for her to solve the case. While she was still with IMPD, she retired from IMPD as a homicide detective at the end of 2019. She had conducted one more search in the neighborhood before she left, and now she is in other law enforcement. She's actually the head of her department now. She got a promotion shortly after she went there, so I mean that speaks volumes as well. So she is going to be a witness. Of course, like I said, she was the first detective. And she did tell me in something that I hung on to. I had to hang on to this because it's been really hard. It's been hard for everybody, not just myself, but like just holding on to hope that something big was going to happen, because once you get into a high profile case like this, and you have so many people lying, and then you have to chase around, different leads and stuff, and then you find out it's a lie, and that happened a lot. There is one person, but she gave me hope to hang on. And I mean, a lot of people gave up, and there's days, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to give up too, because I'm just like, damn, is anything ever gonna happen? But she told me, this isn't just simple. Like, the justice system sometimes takes a lot of time, and it did. She wasn't lying. I mean, this is living proof that victims can get some type of justice out here. So
Right.
I have also told people that are families of victims of homicides to keep hope, keep faith. That's what Jeannie told me, keep the faith. And I always have. Um, and then I had to put faith in Erica, which I didn't really have a lot of doubts about her, because she never gave up. She worked really hard,
Yeah.
to get this case where it is today, and that's commendable. She could have just put it aside and worked the probably 100 other cases that she's had to work in the last 3 years or however long. But she did it. She got it this far, and yeah, that's saying a lot. And it's saying a lot that Robbie and Amber are finally in jail. And I know Holly and Amber, I am so sorry. Holly and Lindsay had said something about Jeanette being a witness. And yeah, I agree. If it came down to Jeanette being a witness or Amber being a witness, Amber's the mom. Amber should not be a witness. I'd rather Jeanette be a witness, whether she's involved in it or not. It doesn't matter to me. It does matter. I'm not saying that, but what matters is that those two are behind bars. They're in jail uniforms. That's where they belong. That's where they belong. So, yeah, finally got it to that point.
So last week, Lindsay and Holly got asked how it felt to finally see them in their jail oranges. How did you feel?
Like it was a victory. And I've said that from ever since Amber went to jail. It's a victory because regardless of it, whether it's murder or it's neglect charges causing serious bodily injury, the reason they're saying serious bodily injury, they have Amaya's DNA. That's what they based her homicide off of. What it would not be victorious is they're still walking. But that's how I feel.
Right.
It's a joy because knowing all this time they went on about their lives and now they're in jail. And it's about damn time. And a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel good about it because there's a baby still missing out here that nobody's ever produced. She leaves a hotel, which she could have left dead, who knows? But I don't know about that. I mean, I don't really know that she was dead when she left. Nobody does except for the people that were there and if they told anybody. But this is a huge deal. This is a high profile case and there's still a ways to go because they haven't been found guilty just yet. But to know that they've even spent a week in jail, that's awesome. Versus for all this time, nobody spent 1 hour in jail over Amaya.
Right. Tammy wants to know if you can explain a little more about what happened at the hotel and were they all there doing drugs together with the baby there?
Okay, so Amber had gotten her tax check back for her kids. At that time, she had 2 children, Logan Jr. and Amaya. So they decided they were going to go party at the waterfront. And it was Robbie, Amber, and Amber's 2 brothers, TJ, which is her youngest, and then Donnie, which is the one that died of cancer a couple of months after Amaya went missing. Jeanette and Brenda came to the hotel. They had an adjoining room upstairs on the 2nd floor. And I know Robbie was messed up on methamphetamine. Jeanette and Brenda probably were too. I had been told by law enforcement that, of course, Amber had been doing drugs. So all doing drugs together with the baby there. I mean, that's a possibility. Yeah, that's a big possibility because you have a woman that is having Robbie for a drug runner. And yes, he was messed up on methamphetamine. He even admitted that. Okay, and with yeah, I want to say this. And I'll get to you in a minute, Justice. So Tammy says not to mention the fact that they left all of Maya's stuff behind. They were not going to need it anymore. Okay, with that being said, yeah, I mean that would look very, very suspicious. I got to know Amber a lot after Amaya went missing, after I met her. She's been to my house a few times. She stayed there, whatnot, when we were speaking and got to be friends. And then anywhere she has stayed, anybody can tell you she's notorious for leaving stuff behind. Because when Robbie came back that night, it's all out now, so it doesn't matter. when Robbie came back that night, when he broke down on the 9th of March, and he came back babyless without Amaya, he got into a confrontation with Amber. Amber was angry at him. So he destroyed that hotel room because they were fighting. And at that point, to my knowledge, Amber did not know Amaya was missing. He gets mad, he destroys his TV, he dumps out her shampoo, her conditioner, like, he destroyed the room. And I've even been told that by a girl that worked there that I'm friends with. I used to search with her. We're still friends. She told me that because she used to bartend out there when this case began. And from what I understand, they left abruptly. I mean, I was even told, that he beat up Donnie, which was his half-brother. Donnie, or stepbrother, I'm sorry, because Regina, Robbie's mom, is married to Donnie Price, which is little Donnie, the one that passed away. That's his father. So him and Robbie were stepbrothers. But so that's, oh, she says audio is going in and out.
Yeah, you sounded muffled. I could still hear you and make out anything, but you sounded muffled for part of that. So I don't know if it was the way you were on the phone or what, but they said that you're better now, so.
Okay, sorry everyone. But yeah, so Amber was notorious for leaving things behind. She's done that at a lot of her families that she's stayed with. And after the room got destroyed and they left abruptly in a hurry, like the room's destroyed. Robbie's pissed. They're fighting. And it, to my knowledge, was not over Amaya. At that point, Amber did not know Amaya had been missing. So, I mean, it could have been a possibility, that she just left the stuff behind because they were fighting.
Right.
I mean, me personally, like, I'm going to try to grab my baby's stuff. But sometimes I think people, like, okay, so I know it was brought up in the podcast that you did with Lindsay and Holly, because the news blew this out of proportion and made it into something that it wasn't. And there were other things with Logan and his truck that were made into something it wasn't. He took Amber, him and Trey, which I call Andres Trey because we are friends. When they took Amber that day on the 16th over to Jeanette Browning's, okay, Logan Hall and Robbie did not get along. They were rivals. They did not like each other. He backed up to the dumpster. That is a grease dumpster because that used to be a restaurant. And everybody, like I've said this before, everybody, like the news blew that out of proportion, made it sound like Trey Andres is throwing something in the dumpster. No, I've seen the whole entire video. He got out, went around to the back of the truck, and he was peeing. That's what he was doing, just like he said. So they parked down the street. You can see Jeanette Browning's house from that dumpster. So, of course, they're not going to pull up to her house because Logan and Robbie did not get along. Probably going to be a confrontation. So, I'll tell you in just a sec, Bree. Hold on. And that's when Amber walked down there and she went to the door and got Barry, Jeanette's husband, to the door. And then Jeanette told me in our audio clip, it's just an audio clip, it's not a video, that she didn't want to deal with Amber that day because her daughter had committed suicide shortly before Amaya went missing. And then shortly before that happened, John Wade Sr., which was someone that used to live at Jeanette Browning's house, they had an affair going on. And then Jeanette was accused. I want to touch on that real quick too. Jeanette was accused of being involved in John Wade Sr.'s murder. He was murdered. He was gunned down. So she has all of this going on prior to what happened to Amaya. And she said she did not want to deal with her. She was depressed. She slept a lot because her daughter had committed suicide. And then that's when Amber went back around in the alley and found Robbie back there slumped over in his vehicle. And June was back there. June Ellsbury, she's one of the witnesses. She's Robbie's ex-girlfriend. And then Amber says she went around to the back of the car to jot his plate number down. And he had stolen somebody's plate and put it on his vehicle because he did not reinstate his plates or whatever. His car, he had just purchased it recently. Hi, Incog. Incog just showed up. And that's when Robbie hit her with the car, and that's part of why June is a witness. She's like a smoking gun in this case at this point, because Robbie had told law enforcement at one point after all this that he gave Amber back the baby in the alley that day. June knows that's not true. She was right there, and Logan and Andres were down the street. So how can that be? Not that I'm taking up for Amber, because I'm not taking up for Amber. I'm just telling facts of the case.
Right.
So, Bree says, when you did the Chasing Evil, is there more to Jeanette Browning recording that can be released? Yeah. It's like 11 minutes, I want to say. They only put just a portion of that in their show. So, yeah. But yes, Jeanette Browning, the police, the homicide even knows Jeanette Browning was involved with John Wade Sr.'s death. They just can't prove, they can't tie her to it. And now it makes even more sense to me after I talked to someone over there that was really good friends with him. Now it makes more sense to me why she's accused. So these people are not people really to play with, honestly.
Right.
And I'm trying to think, there were some other things I wanted to say. Don't even remember exactly. Does anybody have questions?
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so, Jessica. I don't know about Brenda. They had left a camera behind. That was Jeanette Browning's. They left it behind at the waterfront, and I'm being told that's why Jeanette and Brenda are no longer friends after this case happened. I don't think they've ever been friends again. I mean, this is like a big deal. Jeanette did take a lot of flack, probably more than anybody. I heard Lindsay saying that, and she's right. Her house was an easy target for us to go protest. And that's the last known place Amaya was seen alive. So, of course, we're going to go protest you. Of course we are. And the police got called on us every single time we did that. And you know what? Every time they came, they backed us up. We weren't doing anything illegal. We weren't on her property. So I even have it on video, and I think it's in my group, where they are saying they wish they could join us. That's IMPD. Yeah. Yeah, Jessica, I know where Jeanette moved. She moved just west of where she lived with relatives of Barry's. So that's where she moved to.
Yeah, she didn't go very far.
Mm-mm. And I saw, or Lindsay pointed out, she's really good at finding stuff. Her and Amber Lumpkin are really good at finding stuff that some of us aren't really looking for. Um, but she saw that on one of our protests, Jeanette Browning said Jeanette moved. She's using her fake account or whatever sock account, and she's saying that she moved because they said they were doing peaceful protests and there was nothing peaceful about it. Like, we're out there chanting, and yes, we said baby killers. Yes, we did. I mean, what else do you call them? There's DNA of Amaya's that says she's deceased.
Right.
And people are hiding what happened to her and where she's at. What else do you call them? That's what they are. There's so many unsolved cases. Yeah, they do. They have a lot of unsolved cases.
Yeah.
A lot of a lot of those cases are going to remain unsolved because you have people in this city that will not speak up. They're afraid, or they're just doing street code. They're covering for their people.
There's a
Yes,
lot in the city, but there's a lot just so.
I didn't hear what you said, Amy.
So there's a lot of unsolved ones in the city, but there's a lot just in that neighborhood alone.
Oh, absolutely. That neighborhood is horrible for crime. Yeah, her crappy neighbor. Yeah, one day we went to protest. It was actually the day that I took Amber with us. Um, we were out there protesting, and then we were out there and we wrote on the sidewalk justice for Amaya and stuff like that with sidewalk chalk. And then after we wrapped up our protest, we were all back at City Hall over there on Addison. And Nikki Ford and her cousin Emma come around. And at that time, it was just me, Amber, and Billy that were back there. And so we drove back around, and that's when I have them on video, Barry and the neighbor, because the neighbor, that old lady, is spraying off the sidewalk. And then you hear Amber saying all kinds of obscenities, which that girl's mouth, oh my goodness, if she were my child, she wouldn't have a mouth. Her mouth is so dirty. Like, she just says the nastiest stuff. But yeah, the neighbor was out there spraying off our sidewalk chalk. And then I asked Barry, I said, why did your wife leave, Barry? And he said that she was going to a wedding or going to help their daughter pick out a wedding dress or something. Because when she come out of the house and got in her sister's car, she's flipping us all off, mainly Amber. She saw Amber out of the crowd, so she accidentally sprayed Barry too. That is hilarious. I wasn't even paying attention. That is so funny. Yeah, she's a mega bitch. What is it?
Already answered Brandy's question.
Oh, I can't.
I'm over here multitasking. Do you think Amber and Robbie will finally say where Amaya is or continue to keep quiet?
Honestly, and I've said this before, and especially since I do know Amber, she has maintained her innocence throughout the whole entire case. And she's lied throughout the whole entire case. That is the truth. Robbie has lied throughout the entire case. So they're not being given murder charges. That is not being presented. Murder charges carry a lot more years. I literally, And I honestly, since I do know Amber, I do not see her being honest. I do not see Robbie being honest unless one of them is given some kind of a deal to where they're going to get next to nothing in jail. And then maybe they will speak up. Other than that, no, I don't think they're going to say anything to get themselves in any more deeper shit than they're already in, because they're in a lot of shit. Yeah, unsolved cases.
Let's see.
Yeah, the thing with Angie Barlow, Justice Angel, I know who you are. I know, you messaged me this morning. Yeah, you're right. Justice for Amaya. I won't say your name, but I know who that is. I honestly think that Angie's case will never be solved because they've gotten away with that thus far. She went missing, or she was not missing. I mean, they found her in a shallow grave on the east side of Indianapolis, and that was horrible. I'll never forget the day the police announced that and it was on the news. That was horrible. And you and I have even been to that house, and how creepy was that? That house was abandoned at the time, and the people that owned that house, what do you know? Angie Barlow was at that same house of the guy that his parents owned that house the night she went missing. So I don't ever think she'll seek justice. I just don't see it. It's because of the people that are involved.
Right.
They're dangerous people, and it's not people that I would mess with. Amaya is a little different because the people we have been dealing with, like, yeah, some of them are dangerous, but we just went about investigating in our own little way differently. But the people that surrounded Angie Barlow, would I ever go speak to them? Absolutely not. No. They're really dangerous people, and they're not people to mess with because you will be the next one found in a shallow grave. No. Everyone knows who killed Miss Barlow. Just a shame there is nothing to get an arrest. At least her body was found. May she rest peaceful. Yeah, that's true. Like, that girl was totally beautiful. And it's sad she died so young. Amber and Robbie really aren't even smart. If you use the words, they got lucky, but they did for a while, so they thought, just wish they would find Amaya. I'm going to touch on that. Yeah, Amber doesn't sound so educated, and I've said this 10 million times. If you really got to know Amber, you'll know she's not dumb. She's a manipulator. She knows how to play people. But some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth, like, it doesn't sound that educated. But she's smarter than people give her credit for. Robbie's a little smarter than people give him credit for, but they're in jail now. They're in jail. So Brenda and Jeanette, yeah, they're going to be witnesses. Amber's mom is going to be a witness. TJ, her brother's going to be one. Donnie can't be. He's no longer with us. Sad as that is really sad. And then June Ellsbury, like I said, she's a smoking gun in this case. She could seal Robbie's fate. And trying to think, Regina Price, Regina Stafford, that is Robbie's mother. That's his biological mom. Thomas Lyons, Tommy Lyons, that is Robbie's biological father. He has stayed at both places, I believe, since Amaya went missing. And then who else? There's a couple of people on that list. I've heard their names, but I don't know who they are. Trying to think. Oh, Logan Hall, he's on the list. That is Amber's oldest son's dad. And then who else? I can't remember. Yeah, well, good luck on her telling what she knows. I think she's going to maintain her innocence till the bitter end, honestly.
Sadly, yeah. It does seem.
Yeah. Okay. Are you on
Does
there,
anybody?
Amy?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you talking at all.
Oh, it's fine. I haven't said much.
Okay. Go ahead and say whatever you wanted to say.
Tell them if they had any questions to put them in the chat. Was there
Hmm.
anything else that there was that you specifically was wanting to address?
I know there was. I'm just trying to think of what it was. I can't remember. Because this isn't going to be like, a 2 or 3 hour show tonight. I just didn't get to come on here the other night because my phone was messed up. Um, I just pray that everything goes the way it should go when they finally face their day, and that justice is served. And the way I look at it, they may not get murder charges put against them, even if they do 15 years, 10 years. It's better than none at all. It's better than no time at all, because at least the ball is rolling in the right direction.
Right.
I mean, they are where they need to be. And this has affected a lot of people, like Amber's family. It's affected Robbie's family. I mean, you can't really blame all of them. Their children are still alive and safe, and they're where they should be.
Right.
And Amber's children, I do feel the most sorry for them, because one day this will affect the children that never really knew what was going on. One day they're going to know. Logan is the oldest. He's 5. He knew Amaya. He called her My My. That was his sissy. And all he gets is to go to a tree or memorial site, and look at her plaque with her picture on it. And he knows who she is. And Josiah was born after, so he never got to meet Amaya. And then Savannah, but all of her children, they're all safe. Um, the boys are in really good hands. They've always been, basically, for the most part. So this has, affected her family a great deal. I mean, they also have children, and when the kids have gone to school, they've had to be ridiculed over this. It's not their fault. This is Amber's fault. And a lot of people, don't have the best upbringing in the world, but a lot of people that do not have a good upbringing, they turn out to be amazing people. I know people like that. A lot of us do. So you can't always blame everything on how a person was raised. People know
Right.
right from wrong. Amber knew right from wrong. As I said, Amber's not dumb. She's really not. I know Amber. She's not dumb. She just says dumb shit and does dumb shit, so to speak. Cold case unit, because so many, the rate of closing cases is horrible. Oh yeah, let's bring up Jamie Tate too, because poor Donna. I haven't spoken to Donna in a little while, but I don't know if you have, Amy.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah, because Donna, Jamie Tate's mother, she gets sick a lot, and it's touch and go with her, when you talk to her and stuff. But I just feel for her and Amy too, because Amy knew Jamie, and that was one of her friends. And it's sad that Donna may never see justice for Jamie, but we don't want those to be forgotten either. We all have that one special person that we've advocated for, we've done podcasts for, whatever the case. But just juvenile, yep, you're right. Okay. And I know Amy, you had asked the other girls, would they ever get involved with another case
Yeah.
like this and do what they've done? My answer is going to be no. The only other case that I've really inserted myself into somewhat is Jamie. That's it. And that's because I know Donna. I got to know Donna through Amaya's case. But as far as that, no. It's been really life consuming. It's been really mentally and physically draining. You know what I'm talking about because you put your heart and soul into a lot of cases. You know better than I do.
It can be a lot.
Yeah, and it is a lot. But as far as sinking myself into something like that, no, I have a lot going on in my personal life. That's been mentally draining to me. But I mean, I've somewhat, followed Abby and Libby, which I pray they get justice one day. That's horrible. That whole entire case. And Sierra and I have been to Delphi. Chanda and I have been there, but no, just I don't see it. No. Because this became personal to me from being put in a Facebook group that was local, Kayla's group. Or otherwise I wouldn't be here today. I would still be hearing about it on the news. But people, this is just a baby, people had to care. Sierra always said that somebody has to care, So thank you for saying that, Aspen. A lot of us have done that though, really. I really appreciate you saying that, but there's been some people here that have did the same stuff that I did. I'm not here for whatever, just for credit or anything like that. People needed to push for Amaya to get some justice, and that's what our purpose was. And when Sierra was here, she came for Robbie's court hearing. She came from Bloomington. Me, her, Holly, because Lindsay had stuff she had to go do. We went over to the tree. Sierra wanted to go over there. And I was just talking amongst myself, and I was looking at Amaya's tree and her plaque, and I didn't know it, but I was just calmly talking to Amaya, and I don't know, I kind of got teary-eyed, and I said, Amaya, you're finally going to get your justice, baby girl. It's finally coming. And Sierra took a picture of me and stuff while I was standing there and talking, and I didn't even know she did it. She sent it to me, and it just was so surreal, looking at that baby's picture that I've never met in my whole entire life. It was just so surreal that finally that baby is going to get justice, and that feels so good because she was innocent and she didn't have a voice. She couldn't say, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go here, mommy. I don't want to go there. She couldn't do that. We're adults. We have a choice where we go and where we don't.
Yeah. I don't think that I'll ever quit looking into cases, but I don't think I'll ever cover one that's personal again. I think Jamie's will be the only like personal case that I'll ever cover.
Yeah. And I could see that for you because it's personal to you.
And if anybody's out there wanting to start a channel, I don't recommend covering cases that are personal to you. I would have someone you trust do it for you.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Yeah. And the stand, sorry I'm late. I had a diabetic episode. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better.
He said he had a Snapple and a Twix and he's back above board. So that's good.
Yeah. Good.
I requested an autopsy and police reports from the police. I received an email back, so hopefully it will help me share more details. Her daughter was 16 years old. I will be sharing the details soon. Let's see.
From
a case
from what?
A case she's looking into.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
They were talking about that.
Yeah.
Aspen says, I'm required to cover his case if he goes missing. I'll do what I can. It might have to be a team effort, but I'll look at it. But hopefully you don't go missing.
Yeah, no doubt. We don't want you to go missing. That would be horrible.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're right, Bree. That poor baby didn't stand a chance. Oh, I know what else I want to say. So there's been a lot of controversy about, people, and I know there was some not so nice things said from somebody in the comments on the last podcast. So I want to make, that's not going to happen this time. I know there's been a lot of bitter words between people and whatnot. I've never been here ever to down the family. I'm not doing that. And I did have to speak out in my group the other day and do some damage control because, yep, you're right. Justice for Maya. Yeah, Maya was robbed of many things a whole entire life. Poor little child she never got a life. She didn't stand a chance. And unfortunately, she met her demise because of it. But, okay, so I had put in my group who all's who in the case. Because, I don't know, some things were said about, who was related to who and this and that and the other.
Yes,
Of
someone
course.
came in and asked a question, and someone else that was in the chat decided to address it. I showed it on screen, and some people got upset. So I'm sorry. I just I just let them answer the question.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to get upset. So
Right. It wasn't, intentional on their parts. So, Amy, it wasn't intentional on her part or on Lindsay or Holly. So I'm not going to mention names who did it. It doesn't matter. It's over and done. But okay. So Regina Price / Regina Stafford. That is Robbie Lyons' mother. And then Tommy Lyons, as I said, that is Robbie's biological father. And then his stepmom is Christina Lyons. There's a lot of Christinas here. I've actually spoken to Christina Lyons a few times. And I've even spoken to her on the phone. She's a very nice lady. I strongly believe they don't have any knowledge of what happened with Amaya. And then Charlie Robertson, that is Amber's father. And then Renee, I call her Renee because I know her. Some people call her Carrie. Her last name's Miller. That is Amber's mother. And then who else? We have Amber's siblings. Christina, I'm going to name them all in order of their age. Christina, Oli. Then we have Donnie. He was the one that passed away of cancer. We have, I'm not sure which is older, Tanea or Nicholas. I'm not sure which one of the two is the oldest, but those are her other two siblings. And then we have TJ, Terry Miller. He's also on the list. Those are Amber's siblings. Okay. Regina Scruggs. I don't know who that is. That's not Robbie's mom. I'm not sure who that is though. That is not Robbie's mother. So, but that is who. There were, in the beginning, like I told you guys, there was a lot of people thrown in this mess that didn't belong here. I know somebody had asked about Robbie getting his window shot out and who Jason Pruitt was. Jason Pruitt is Logan Hall's uncle. That's who he is. And yes, he shot Robbie's back window out of his rodeo. Amaya was not in the car. I want to put that out there. She was not in the car when that happened because right after all that happened, Robbie went to jail. And then his car got impounded. So just want to put that out there for everyone. So everybody knows because there was a big deal made out of that too. Oh, Amaya was in the car. She was shot. You know, a lot of people have said that. That's not true. It's like to put a rest to all the rumors. Amber did lie to me about it though. She said, me and Sierra, she said that at the waterfront, Donnie was guiding Robbie out of his parking spot. It is not like that he was driving some big semi or something and he would need to be told, you know, which direction to back out of. That was just absurd. I mean, I can back out of a parking spot. And then she said he backed into the dumpster and busted the window out. That's not true. Because the dumpster was even like, it had a gate on it. So there's no way he could have backed into the dumpster. Oh, hi, Christina. Okay, now I got it. So yeah, anyway, trying to think of anything else. Anyway, yeah, that's who's who. There was a lot of people put into this that didn't belong in this case. As I said, you know, you can't blame Amber's family for what happened to Amaya. I mean, Christina's on here. That's Amber's sister. She can even tell you guys that Amber was devious, and if she got pissed off, she would keep her kids away from them. But did they do the right thing before Amaya went missing? I'll just say yes. I'll put that out there. Because I've seen a lot of people saying, well, why didn't they do anything? They did. They just didn't make it public. They tried. So you can't just go in and take somebody's child, physically take their child. I mean, that's called abduction. You can go to jail for that. So Amber hid a lot of things too that they didn't know was going on. I mean, the only person to blame for what happened to Amaya in that family is Amber. Amber is the problem. Their kids, as I said, their kids are fine. They're living, they're breathing, they're being taken care of like they should. Their kids aren't missing.
Yeah.
So the only one to blame in the family for that whole entire thing is Amber. And Amber is where she needs to be. And the only person I really blame in Robbie's family is Michael Creamer. Michael Creamer is evil. He's vile. He has stuck up for Robbie from day one. Do I believe Michael probably knows what happened? Probably. I think Robbie could probably go in a store and murder 10 people and then go tell Michael all about it. Do I think Michael's going to have Robbie's back? Absolutely. But Amber's family doesn't really support her, you guys. They don't really do that because she just her actions have spoke for themselves and they don't support that. They do not support that. I mean, that has to be hard though. That's part of their family, whether, I mean, it has to be hard. That would be hard for me. That's my sibling and I can't even support them because I think they're guilty. And just the shitty way that she's treated all of them. And I've been a witness to some of that. She done the same stuff to me. She tried to turn us all against each other with her lies and her just devious bullshit. Just starting unnecessary drama. Why do you need to start unnecessary drama? Your daughter is still missing. Don't you want your family's support? Don't you want the public out here to have your back? But that it hasn't happened. Yeah, I agree. That shouldn't have been said on here. He started a lot of unnecessary drama. That shouldn't have been said. It doesn't matter like who's related to who and anything, whatever. Doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with Amaya. But the people I named off, that's because some people don't know like who Robbie's mom is, who Amber's mom is. And that pretty much just summed it up. I mean, but yeah. Yeah, he also Sloopy, he did that to me as well in Messenger. He found out Sierra and I had went up to where Robbie got arrested for the checks. And he started going off on me in Messenger, and then he called me and went off on me in Messenger. I've actually seen his face. I've heard his voice. He's not a nice human being. That's why I say I could see him covering for Robbie. I mean, if he really truly knew what happened to Amaya, I could see it.
Christina and Sloopy, if either of you ever want to join on one of the lives that we do about Amaya, you can just message me and I'll have you guys on too.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys ever want to do that. Christina, you, Ollie, any of you guys. I mean, I know after Amber went to jail, none of you guys wanted to like be on the news and stuff. I totally understand why. But you guys are more than welcome to do that. You can get on there and say whatever you guys want to say. But yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot else to say. They are in jail, thank God, where they belong. So all we can do at this point is, the case isn't over yet. I mean, I don't know how much
Yeah.
longer it's gonna last.
Yeah, I mean, really at this point, it's just wait on the system to go through its cycle and hope for the best outcome that we can get.
Right. Ouch.
But I have to get up early in the morning.
Yeah.
To go on a little short adventure. Unless there's any questions from anybody in the chat that you want to ask, or Cece has anything else to address, we'll probably end it in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know you've had a long
Yes.
day.
Yeah. And dodging a bullet. And all I'm worried about is where my mail is going at this point, and somebody keeps chasing me down to see if I'm going to do their podcast. No, I'm not. But oh, thank you, Lake Michigan. Bree, yeah, Amaya. Why did I say Amaya? Amber is pregnant. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Yeah, Amber is pregnant
Aspen
again.
CC.
Hey, Cece. I just wanted to pop on before you all ended and commend you for the dedication that you have put into this case. I know that your heart is with Amaya, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you. I truly, truly appreciate that. I just feel like, it's important. I mean, my purpose is mainly done. I mean, other than seeing these people squirm and praying that they go to prison. Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I think that if it weren't for people like you, cases like Amaya's wouldn't be highlighted or get the attention they deserve. And I think there needs to be more of you in the world. And I just wanted to commend you for that before you all end tonight. Amy is the same kind of person. I know that.
Yes.
Once you get past that hard exterior, I know there's a little mushy, soft soul inside.
There's nothing mushy about it.
But no, I do. I mean, I can tell that your heart is bigger than any of us, and I thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's been some other girls that have put a lot of their heart and soul into this as well. Thank you for that, though. We just want to see Amaya get justice. I mean, that was the whole purpose behind it, and I honestly believe that it's just like the little baby that went missing in 2014, baby Delano. I've even had people to ask why nobody did all of this for him. Well, I wasn't added into a Facebook group at the time. I heard about it on the news. I was working like mad hours when all that happened, and for me to go out and like physically do a lot of searching and stuff, I couldn't do it. Even if, but
yeah.
I feel like he fell through the cracks, and that case has never, I mean, the dad was put on trial for his murder, but he was acquitted. And that's been another, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is another thing, why they didn't want to take this case forward sooner than what they did, because what if they would have put Robbie and Amber in jail and they got acquitted? I don't think that's going to happen now.
No, hopefully not. I mean,
but they, yeah.
yeah. I mean, cases are you can never like hindsight is 2020. You know, there's so I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Karina McClurkin and her case, but
Mhm.
that's a case that I'm really passionate about, and it's a case that I did not pay attention to when I should have, and I'm so regretful over that because I knew about it, I just didn't pay attention to it, and she's another girl that deserves so much. She deserved justice way before she's getting it, hopefully.
I hope so as well. Yeah, for you, absolutely. Yes. I think we all, like I said, have that one case that we're all passionate about. So
Yeah.
we all have our one that we are, and like a handful of us girls are very passionate about Amaya. So yeah.
Well, I know I've heard incredible things about you from Amy, from Mel, and also from my good friend Sloopy.
Oh, well, thank you.
So,
Thank you guys.
Jessica wants to know how far along Amber is.
sorry?
She claims she's 3 months pregnant. I think maybe that was when I heard about it. I don't even know. I remember hearing something about it. I'm not going to say where I heard it from. It doesn't matter. When Holly and I were actually making stuff for Amaya's birthday. So it was back in July. Or wait, yeah, the beginning in July, I want to say.
Yeah.
This is because nobody, baby. His dad, who admitted to killing her, found her baby blankie in the dumpster. Kids don't, yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't get justice in Marion County. It's a city, and you know they have so many murder cases to work. And Shane and I were on the interstate, and we happened to see where the crime rate here, the percentage was higher in in Indianapolis than it was in Chicago. That's bad.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
But
so can I ask what is the next step in the court process? I know they both had their preliminary
mhm.
that, but if you mentioned it earlier, I'm not sure. Like
They have a bond reduction hearing. And then after that, yeah, they've already had their plea hearing. Other than that, I'm trying to think what would be next. Just
there's been no speculation on like anything either of them have said about where to look or anything.
no, unfortunately, no. And if they have said anything, which I'm very highly doubtful for, that wouldn't be made public. But yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna talk.
Well, I will not stay on here. I'm going to jump off chaotic. I know you guys were closing up. I wanted to be able to say, Cece, that you should be so proud of yourself for the work you've put into this, and Amy as well.
Yeah, I truly, truly appreciate that. It was all worth it to end up here because some of us have taken so much flack and so much BS, and it's just been unreal. But I had to get to the point where it didn't matter anymore. And it doesn't. Just all that matters is that mom and the boyfriend are sitting in jail where they belong, and hopefully they're going to prison. And that's all that we care about, honestly.
Right. And the other three children they're safe, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that has been another, I'm glad you said that, Aspen, because that has been another big thing. I've even made petitions about them taking Amber's children away from her.
which didn't happen, but at least we all tried because after I made the petition, I got tons of signatures, like over 1,000, I think. And it still didn't matter, but we tried. Yeah, they are all great, Christina says. That's Amber's oldest sister.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad that there are family members there that are there to step up. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I will let the two of you finish. Thank you again, Amy, for inviting me on, and I hope that you both have a good night and justice for Amaya.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Right. Oh, so yeah. So yeah, Mel's amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Deb. Oh.
Hi, Deb.
I guess we're going to end it, but like I said in the last show, we will definitely figure out something to do once court actually does start so that everybody can keep updated on everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it, but I mentioned to the girls maybe doing like a once a week recap or something once court actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good idea. That way the public can be kept up because us girls are the ones that go to the court to hear I'm shocked nobody was at Robbie's hearing besides us. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I figured like the media would have been all over that. Well, they did change times, so I'm not sure if bye Christine, I love you. I'm not sure. I mean, I thought the media would be all over it. I thought more people would be there. I don't know.
Yeah. And again, if Christina or any of the other family members or Sloopy, that anyone that knows like a lot or has been involved with the case ever wants to join, we're open to that too. So
Yeah. Yeah, Christina, I was
yeah.
that wasn't meaning you guys per se. I was mainly meaning like because we had a lot of people that were in the group saying they were going to go to Robbie's hearing and nobody showed up. I was so shocked. Not even the news reporters. Yeah, so but I can't think of anything else I want to say except for justice for Maya and justice for Jamie Joe Tate, justice for Angie Barlow, and justice for any other victim out there that has not gotten justice. Don't give up fighting. Don't give up the faith in the system. And keep praying.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. You just got to keep fighting and you can't give up. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, Cece, I will let you go. I'm sure that I will talk to you in the next couple days.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for having me on here.
Anytime.
Yeah. Thank you.
Figure out how to make it work. So.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good night. And if you're bored, The Stand just went live talking about a bunch of other cases. If you want to go over there and catch that. But I am out of here. So thank you guys for coming, and I will see you next time.